Who said you can't go home? Real Estate Exposed, brought to you by Signature Real Estate. Real Estate Exposed is all about helping homeowners and those who would like to be homeowners and those who would like to get into real estate.
Welcome, everyone, to Real Estate Exposed, your real estate radio show coming live from Las Vegas. This is Brandon Roberts, the owner of Signature Real Estate Group.
This is Shelly Panzarella with Prosperity Lending.
And that is Vandana Bhalla, corporate broker for Signature Real Estate Group.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, now
Did I
that
say that
we're...
right?
Do you have
now-
another title? Like you're
Me?
like the big cheese over there, right?
You could call me Big Cheese. That would be good.
This
for
is
Prosperity
Shelly Panzarella, Big Cheese at Prosperity
Lending.
Lending.
Big Cheese. El
No,
Jefe.
you're
Is
the
that
boss.
the right word to say?
No, you can't say that
No?
anymore.
I
Watch
am-
yourself. And then you always say coming
allowed.
live, but these are our first. This was our fourth episode. Is all
They don't need to-
pre-recorded.
They don't need to know.
Well, they
that.
know because we talk about things and then like it's happening today and it's a week old.
Oh.
But starting next week, if not the week after at the latest, we are going to start going live. Just waiting for a few pieces of equipment so that we can make the show run flawlessly live.
And
Oh.
live is what time for us?
9 o'clock for you guys.
9 o'clock. Okay, so we
And
have
for
to
our
be in
listener
the-
audience, 9:30. I just tell them 9 so they show up.
So what time will
you
the
hear that?
makeup
Do you
artist
remember?
and green rooms be open?
Huh?
What time will the makeup artist and the green
Whatever
room?
time you wake up, darling, you find
You
your
guys,
own green room and your
we're
makeup
going to
artist.
have like a pre-show too, so you guys can see these guys run around looking for mirrors and making sure everything's good.
I get ready in the car. I don't know what you're saying.
There you go.
Oh, my goodness. What are we talking about today, you guys?
We're talking about
You
real
running-
estate stuff.
Real estate stuff. Let's talk about you running for the board.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
Let's do that. That's kind of cool.
So I put in my application, and it's been approved by the nominating committee to run for president-elect for 2021 for the Las Vegas Realtor Board.
That means you're going to be president.
At some point, right?
Yeah, in 2 years.
2022
Yeah.
would be president. So
That's cool. Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm excited for the opportunity. I think I've been preparing for a long time to get there. Last year I was in a different place. I'd put in my application for vice president, and I went through a program called Immersion, and really thinking about what you really want in life and stuff like that. And I realized it wasn't the right time for me, and so I withdrew from that race before it really got going, and prepared all year, both in business and personally, to be able to come back and actually do it. So I'm ready.
Nice.
Yeah, that's exciting because I do remember how all that went down last year, and here we are today, and you're ready to go. And I do feel your leadership team and everybody's kind of here to support you, so you could just take a easy pass on this one, right, and cruise into it.
I wish.
We gave you
No.
we gave you a hard time for not running last year and pulling your application, but I truly believe that this is the right time for you to run.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, did you really want all that crap from the last year of the nonsense that they've been dealing with and the...
No, but you never know when, and I'm hoping I can make a difference with a different perspective and more of a calm, level head.
Yeah.
That maybe we don't go down those paths, and that everyone understands that they have a voice, and everyone needs to be heard. And then ultimately, let's make the right decision for the members, not
each other or your
agendas.
personal agendas. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of agendas out there, and my goal would be to eliminate that.
Very cool. So you're going to just get rid of people? And you're fired, and you're fired, and
You
you're
have been
fired.
voted off the board. No.
Can you do that? You can, right?
No.
Everybody's elected, right? Like I've seen that
Impeach.
once
Yeah,
before, yes.
presidents don't actually remove people from the board. Now, the board can, if they feel that someone's actions are so egregious that they are, I don't know, that they, what's the right word? I want to say something about moral turpitude, but I can't figure the bridge
Exactly.
to get there.
Gigantic word.
It is. But if someone is, I guess, in violation of any code of ethics, or if they've done something so egregious that they shouldn't be a part of the board or representing our association or our members, then the board members can call for them to resign.
And it's happened. It's happened in our board, I think, and I know it's happened across the country.
Yep.
But I'm excited too because a lot of our leadership are past presidents. I mean, I'm following the steps of Janet Carpenter, who's past president this year. Chris Bishop. We've got Patty Kelly at our company that's also been a president.
We're where the past presidents come.
Go to die.
Go to
Wait.
They don't recycle. They don't go back in line and come back up.
Actually, they do.
They come to
because,
get rejuvenated.
Yeah, actually, there has been some recirculation because Lee Barrett is on the board this year, and he's a past president.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And Keith Kelly's running this year, and he's a past president. So
I remember when I was on the board, Colleen Kelly came back on.
She came back on too, right?
She was a past president too, which I think is really good to remember. Sort of, not that whole. Well, this is how we did it. We don't want to hear that. It's more. This is why the history. This is why we did it this way. And so for you to go back and turn around and change it now, you should know why it was done that way to begin with.
This would be your consequences.
Correct.
And this is why. Yeah. I think it's good to have that perspective because over time that board turns over, and you lose that.
Yeah.
So.
And everybody has just a 1-year term?
No, the board is a 2-year term.
Okay.
Typically, I was on it for 3 years.
The director.
Position,
yeah, is a 2-year term.
I was on it for 3 years because my first run,
nobody knew you.
Yeah, but I won. But I got a seat from somebody that was moving up to the executive board, so there was 1 year left vacated on their term, and so I got to fill that. So that was my first year, and then I ran and got a 2-year, and then I've been off. I took a 2-year hiatus, and now president-elect would be president-elect. It's a 3-year term because it's president-elect, then you'd be president, and then you'd be past president.
Got it.
So you'd be on the board for the next 3 years. One thing I miss is being in the know. What's going on? You're just in a deeper know.
Yeah, so. I agree. I think I've served on so many committees. So, I mean, if those who don't know, right, and I'm talking to you, Shelly, is that the way that it starts is that you have committees, right? And the committees are the one that sort of set the path for what the board does, right? If the committees don't meet, the board doesn't have any motions to really pass. I mean, I don't know how they did it during coronavirus because they passed a bunch of shit that they shouldn't have. And there was no committee meetings.
But there were no committees, I heard. A lot of the committees were cut, right?
Ding, ding, ding. Look at you catching
on.
on.
I do know this stuff.
So you have to go back to how a bill's created. Yeah. It's supposed to come from the committee and then work its all the way up. But I think, and that's the other thing with the board of directors, I think some of them don't realize what it's about. Even listening to people, what they're going to change when they get on the board, it's like really that's kind of outside your scope. Yep. You know, it's
and really you're not one person that can do that. I mean, no. I can, you can't, you can't.
No, you can, I can't.
You
can
you
I?
May.
No, I cannot. So there's really no membership elective type process in getting votes or things changed. It's all executive board of directors that make that
So
decision?
the membership makes the votes on who's on the board of directors.
Correct. And that's how they
that's
actually
their voice. Okay.
Voice their opinions. But more importantly, they get involved in the committees, right?
Okay.
So for instance, if there is something that isn't, let's say there was a policy that was being passed and we knew about it as a membership and we knew that the board was intending to pass it. I mean, I'm not talking about any one particular, but I'm totally talking about it. Keith Lynham made a big hoo-ha about it, got the membership involved and forced the board of directors to open up their meetings so that we could have a voice and actually speak, because they were making decisions without anybody meeting, right? And so what Keith Lynham did was said, hey, you need to open up these meetings. We need to be able to see what you're doing. You guys are hiding in behind the one voice voting, and you really need to let us know what you're doing. And that really helped change the fact that a policy would have been passed that would have not allowed someone to run.
Really?
Yeah. And so as a membership, we bound together and said, you absolutely cannot do that. And they listened. So there is a way for membership to get involved and really cause a commotion. I'm right now in the midst of trying to make sure that the board has a policy where they self-police themselves, right? They are not a higher power. And so that's my mission, hopefully before the end of the year, to get to a point where I can have the board say, look, we are not the ones that can be accused or can accuse someone and then go punish them, right? For what?
I feel like that's like Robert's rules. Do you guys not follow the Robert's rules?
They're supposed to follow Robert's rules. But
parliamentary?
they do. But the neat thing was, the neat thing about, not that there was a policy that was passed, and then they had opened the meeting and all that. The neat thing was that the membership stood up.
Right.
Yeah.
And that the board now knows,
Band together.
and hopefully they remember, that they can't just run amok and do whatever the heck they want.
Well,
I mean,
nobody knew, right? They weren't letting anybody into the boardroom, and they weren't letting anybody watch their board meetings. And so we had no idea what they were doing until it was already done. And by
Yeah.
then it's too late, and that's not cool.
But
So the thought was, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's
So
good.
so it could have been what, that nobody could jump on and get on an election. They would automatically just basically elect somebody, or
I
how would
think
that?
it really affected who could run for the executive board.
Oh,
which
okay.
is on qualifications. And so by changing that midstream, it allowed that some people all of a sudden that would have qualified, all of a sudden wouldn't qualify.
Got it. Okay.
And so that injustice was done, but reversed. And so I think it's fair and it's opened up. And either way, we'll see how it works out. But
Yeah.
it really would have limited the amount of people that could have run for those positions, which would have given people an unfair advantage.
Got it.
And it just would have been bad. So
Well, and this happens across like all boards, right? This isn't just us here in Las Vegas. That
it
it's
happens
happened
with all
with.
politics.
It happens with all politics.
Yeah,
and
true.
speaking of that,
True. We're not going to go there. This is real estate.
What?
Just kidding.
let's literally
We
talk
are going to
about,
talk about some politics, though, but not
Yes.
not presidential politics. But
Okay.
we're going to talk about some
not
of the
that we
stuff.
don't want to talk about you, Brandon, but it's
Oh, no,
time to move
let's
on.
move on.
Let's talk about me.
Let's talk about.
Something different.
I knew we were going somewhere with this.
All right. Big news this week. Can anybody guess what it is? Interest rates are low. Thank
Still
you.
low.
Still low.
Yes. Eviction moratorium.
Yeah.
That's the big news,
9-1.
right?
That's the big one.
Holy smackarolis,
Oh, I
man.
got a new phone. Is that another big news?
That was 2 weeks ago. That
Oh,
doesn't count.
right. That doesn't
You
She
missed
just
your
fi-
opportunity.
She just
for
figured
big
out how to
news.
use it.
Yes.
So it's a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still
Is
not
it
an iPhone. Nope.
No,
Nobody
but I
cares.
did see somebody do a shout out to
Nobody
me on the.
cares.
Nobody cares.
I know. I'm still green bubble. Sorry.
What's a green bubble?
In the chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
iMessage is blue.
yes.
She's green. And the other thing is that you don't come across on my computer.
high level thinking right there for me.
Green versus blue. What do you mean?
So
If you have an
iMessage, when I'm on here and Wi-Fi on my computer, I pick up all the iMessages come to my computer.
That's interesting. You
You
don't ever
don't.
respond to me though.
Well, do you have an iPhone? Whoops.
I'll
do
have to text
respond.
you on my iPad, is what you're saying. I do have an iPad.
Yeah, then you'll be a blue bubble.
Oh, okay. All right. Got to be part of the blue
Hey,
bubble.
it doesn't
world.
matter. I'm a blue bubble, and I still don't get responses from him all the
Oh,
time.
got
I
it.
didn't have an answer. I didn't know how long the women's
How about
council thing
this?
was going to
Maybe this
last.
would have been a good answer.
Right? How
Thumbs
about
up.
a thumbs up?
Okay. Oh, I got a meme for that.
Sorry, back to you, Vandana.
I
Did
don't
you get 'em
remember
put
what we're
together?
talking- Huh?
Did you get them put together?
Yeah, no. I mean, seriously, Ashley and Virginia are rock stars. Holy moly, man! Those girls kicked ass. I got a new couch.
She
Is that what all those
She
boxes
bought the
are?
store of Lovesack. They're out of stock now. They were all
Great.
delivered to her front porch, and they're all put
That
together now.
thing's massive.
But I mean, literally, they come in these boxes. And
they come
they're
in
just
boxes
your-
and they're all apart. Like you get the base, and then you get the covers, and then you get the sides,
and
then
the
you
cushions
get the cushions and the covers for those, and then the seats and the covers for those.
And
My
how do they stay together as a couch?
They're little
clamps.
brackets and stuff. But it's really cool because you buy the thing, and then let's say, so I've got a material one. I've had mine for like 6 years. And let's say I want to get a leather one. So I just go buy the leather covers, pull
What?
off the other, and put the leather on. And it's that interchangeable.
And it's
They're
like
really
a high
cool.
level. I think of Lovesack as like your bean bags.
Yeah.
It's actually like a couch that's
couch, yeah.
off.
And they're
on
very
legs.
comfortable. Yeah.
Really?
So I think one of the best ways to describe it was like
Modular.
It was like putting Lego pieces together, but making sure that they fit. And then
Suck it, Legos.
there was no way I was going to be able to figure that out without those girls. Like they
Really?
were amazing.
Aw.
Yeah.
They've taken theirs apart and put it together so many times because they take them apart and wash them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just throw them in the washer. So
that's cool.
This show
Have to check
brought
it
to you
out.
by Lovesack.
Can't say that.
Soon.
Not without money from them. Okay. So then
Press the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to tip.
oh, that's right. We forgot to talk about how you can send us stuff
Yeah,
on
we
our
need a
Facebook
script.
page. Yeah, we do have a script. We never follow it. You know, it's funny. I was
I would never guess. Listening to the show.
I missed the script. Did you guys not send it to me, or because I'm
I
green
was,
bubble?
We
I
don't
was
have one.
listening to some of the shows from before that him and I did, and even then we were arguing about how we never follow the script. Like without fail.
Some things in life
every
just
single
never
time.
change.
I think it's just us.
Yeah,
it's
could
our
be.
thing.
You're
We don't
unscripted.
like to be put in a box.
Exactly, like the love
Of
sack.
scripts.
Unscripted and unplugged.
Exactly.
Stay tuned for our comments that we shouldn't be making.
So what were we talking about?
Your eviction
moratorium.
moratorium.
Eviction moratorium.
And how
oh my
excited
God.
the realtors were.
So it got extended, and realtors and landlords were not excited, not even the least bit. In fact, we were all preparing to evict a couple of tenants that we knew who have very blatantly said, we're not moving. We're not going to be able to pay you back. We might owe you $10,000. Too bad, too sad.
Even though they're still working.
Yep. So we're just going to live here until we have to leave, which I think is so unfair to landlords who still have to pay their taxes and their trash and sewer. And the other thing is I have a client who got a forbearance, and he goes, I don't know if you know this, but I still have to pay the interest on my loan, right? I still have a forbearance fee that the bank has charged me that I have to pay. Like I said, I understand that, but this is not me, right? He goes, I know. He goes, it's just frustrating. I don't know who else to tell. And I said, I get it. And I'm sorry, but this is shame on the governor. I mean, I honestly, for not even telling anybody.
That was the big thing, and that's why the realtors were up in arms. Is we've had great communication, so we thought, with the governor through the thing, knowing what was going to happen, so we could be prepared for it. And this was last minute, and here you go, surprise. And I mean, it's sad because I know there are some tenants out there that, and probably more than not, that this really helps and benefits, but it does really affect the owners. But the ones that get me are the ones that can pay for it that aren't. And then the ones that say, well, we're not going to pay and we're not going to work anything out because they're just going to forgive this.
Yeah.
The governor's going to make you forgive it.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, I just don't get it.
And now the CDC has put a lock on everything. Like they're just saying you can't evict anybody till the end of the year. So we've got tenants that are going to live rent free.
And owners that are going to suffer.
And owners that are going to suffer who are going to, I mean, they are providing, let's be honest, they're providing a necessary item to our community, right? I mean, there are people who can't buy, unfortunately, unless we go back to 2003 days when it's, no doc, no credit checks, no nothing, just
Can we go
have
back
a
there?
pulse. Can we go back there?
I don't think so.
Because without that, tenants are going to need to rent, right? And if they can't rent, where are they going to go? Our city's going to suffer. Our economy is going to suffer.
And rents will go up.
Rents will go way up. I'm already seeing it. And I have like 3 properties that I put on the market, and they've gotten rented pretty quickly. But what happens is if you put it at the sort of value that it's meant to be for that community, right? If you list it for that, there's people that are willing to pay more if you rent it to them. And so landlords are now accepting it based off of that because, and it's going to be more strict. Tenants are going to have to really bring in extra paperwork, maybe more deposits, maybe more. What are you doing, Brandon? Pay attention to me.
I'm paying attention to you. I'm just reading.
He's reading.
I'm reading NAR's response to the CDC. And their unveiled
let me tell you really quickly. So what's happening here is our directive 31. Why are you sparking?
I was paying attention.
I know, but Directive 31, which is what happened on Tuesday, actually supersedes the CDC directive, right? Until October 14th. And then the CDC directive takes into play because the governor gave an extension, but he's only given an extension on eviction moratorium for non-payment of rent. So you can evict people who are paying rent, but you can't evict people who aren't paying rent.
What?
Thank you. I just want you to sink that in for a minute.
That doesn't make any sense.
But it does to somebody, right? So I can actually send out. Now, can I evict them by the time? So because of SB1, which we talked about 2 weeks ago, I want to say, or 3 weeks ago, because of SB1, every tenant that is going to be evicted has to go through. Sorry, I got to wait for you.
Air quotes.
Thank you. Who's going to be evicted, right? Who is going to be evicted will have to go through some form of mediation through the court system. And guess what? They don't have that ready yet. So.
But do you think we could have foreseen this? Because the original, and we talked about this on the last couple of shows, the original thing was there's going to be 90,000 evictions coming. And then all of a sudden those numbers started to push up to 200.
290, 250.
And so do you think they were almost prepping it for, okay, this is going to be such a crisis, we have to do something?
We have to put this in place.
But I feel like the SB1 was the answer for that. I think that's what it was, but they never actually defined mediation. Like, it has to be through the court system, but the court system didn't have it. So why pass a bill that your community can't, I don't know.
Well, and then I read also that the assistance that they had originally for the state, they're basically not taking any applications, right? So there's no additional assistance either.
People are getting notices back when they're applying. They're getting notices back saying, we have 3,200 people ahead of you. We'll get to you as soon as we can. What the? Wow. And then the governor mentioned that he's got $10 million more that he's putting into the coffers for assistance for tenants. You know who needs assistance? Landlords. Yeah. How about we look after them? How about we give some, because tenants aren't applying for the assistance when they should be. Like that tenant that I have that's just, he's like, he goes, I'm sorry, I can't pay. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? What do you mean you can't pay? He's like, I go, anything. Give me $100. I can't. We're not, I'm just going to stay here until you can get rid of me.
So this is
like deja vu a little bit.
This is kind of a commonality because California did the same thing last minute. They changed it, but they pushed it into 2021. And they also said tenants who didn't pay rent between March 1st and August 31st cannot ever be evicted for those missed payments.
Correct.
So then what happens?
We're the same
if the
here,
home
though.
Never gets the lender never gets paid for that, right? The landlord never makes that payment. At some point, there's a foreclosure that would be pending, but foreclosures are also on a moratorium. Yeah, through the end of the year.
I think it's just eviction moratorium's been pushed. I don't think it's been foreclosure moratorium. Tell me, Brandon. Do you know?
So what would happen on?
I don't know
I don't
for sure.
think that's the
we
case.
can look, but yeah, that's all we're hearing is about the eviction.
Clearly, we've done all the research.
So I do know forbearances.
Totally prepared.
Some of the forbearances, they expire the end of this month. Some of the forbearances were like a 6-month or a 12-month forbearance. And it did actually allow landlords or investment properties to take advantage of that. But you had to be Fannie or Freddie, obviously can't be FHA or VA, to take advantage of the forbearance as an investment.
Okay, so I have a question. We've got all this money that's being thrown at assistance for this. Where is it coming from? We didn't have, we were already, as a country, in the negative, right? So where's all this money coming from?
They got printers.
That tree out there, that's been growing for
the money tree.
The money tree? Yeah, seriously, like Governor Sisolak said, we've got $10 million. Is that going? Where is that going? What's the process for that? Who's going to get it? How can they apply for it? When is it going to start? I love that. And going back to the whole, let's talk about politics, but politicians just say stuff and then don't put any, parameters or feeler. I'm mad. I'm mad about it. I'm very frustrated that this was done and it was done last minute. I think if we knew about it, we could have prepared the landlords. I think that if the governor had a discussion with realtors, we could have said, hey, why don't you try this method? Why don't we, because it's not fair to have, I get that there are some tenants, like why can't we verify that these tenants actually don't have money in their bank accounts or that they're not getting money from assistance programs that are out there? Mm-hmm. What are they getting this money and then it's going straight to the tenants and they're utilizing it for whatever they want? When does the landlord, when is it their turn to come up on?
Where is there some accountability?
Yeah.
And no, I get that for sure. But every decision has consequences, and there's always, you try to do something good for somebody, it affects somebody else. Yeah. So we'll adapt.
I think in the beginning we were a little bit hesitant, right, to really speak up about it because we didn't want to be the example during the next legislative session. But screw the example, like screw that, like enough already. If I was a landlord, I'd be pissed. You're a landlord. I don't have any tenants right now. Okay, but
no, I was actually very blessed, and this sounds bad, but I was moving into one of my rentals, and that tenant moved out.
That
right before this happened.
That tenant moved into one of my properties, and they're paying. Yeah, so I'm good.
Then I was blessed either way, whether they stayed or not. So,
yeah.
But no, and then I just haven't finished moving out of my other property. So
that one's not rented
So
out.
it's not up for rent yet. So, but I'm not excited about getting anything rented at this point.
I need a place to live.
So
Brandon's
what happens if...
He's one of my tenants too. So,
so wait, you are a landlord. You're not a landlord.
I am a landlord, but I just do things a little differently.
So what happens if you do rent that condo out, let's say, and then they just stop making rental payments? Can they do that? And then they fall... Really? So, that would be a little freaky as a landlord to be...
And you can't get them out and you can't do anything about it. So at least now with it sitting empty, I know I'm not getting any rent.
Yeah,
But no damage is being done either.
that's true. So you'd almost want to get 12 months up front. Is that feasible?
You
You
can't.
can't. You can only charge
a-
up to three times
the
the
On a new
rent
lease?
for a deposit. Wow. Right now, most people
That's
charge
scary.
about 1.5 of the lease amount, like the monthly rental income. They charge not income, but the monthly rent, the recurring rent amount. They charge about 1.5, right, to 2 times that amount in deposits. But I anticipate that to go up.
So what other states are not doing this? Who have not had a moratorium?
Utah, nothing happened in Utah. There was
Really?
no coronavirus in Utah.
And they're okay?
They do wear masks in Salt Lake County.
Yeah.
I know
But I
that.
mean, what about the eviction process? Are they?
It's different. I think each state kind of handled things differently, and unfortunately, you look at some of them are blue states, some are red states, and how things were handled. I don't know if it's good, bad, or indifferent of how people have done it, but Utah has been basically open for business for most of their stuff. In fact, we had people from here driving to St. George, which is 2.5 hours, to get their hair cut during COVID
Wow.
because they could go into a salon there. So
It's crazy.
it's just it's interesting how different people have handled things, and you almost have the same result, right?
Well, do they have a high issue with tenants not making payments?
No,
No, they're making payments. There's no issue as far as because they could get evicted.
I can't speak to that really. I mean, I haven't heard anything about it, but we don't do property management up there.
I got it.
So we do have a real estate office, and we do sales, and sales are up just like here, but we don't do property management up there like we do down here.
Got it.
So I would have to ask around to find that out.
Can you
So-
get back to me on our next show, please?
Nope. If I do, it'll be a surprise. If I don't,
Okay.
I don't want to let you down.
Our next live, maybe not live show.
Our
Maybe
evictions
not live, which starts at 9:00,
Yeah.
8:30 for us.
up.
8 o'clock.
8.
8:15. Be here at 8:15. Otherwise, you're late.
I'm making a call to Google right now.
I'm making a call to
Oh.
Google. It's very
Phone a friend.
Very inefficient of you. You know, you could just look that up on the internet, right?
That's what I'm doing.
Exposed.
Phones don't really work, do they?
I
Nobody
don't
uses
know.
them.
So I was trying to get into our Facebook page. and
Facebook.com real estate X.
Facebook.com.
Or just go to Facebook and just do a
Slash
search for Real Estate Exposed.
X.
X.
I did that and it said it's not up.
It's up.
It's up. Try again.
Here it is. Got it. I was just checking to see. We got 422 views.
Ooh. On our last episode? Was that the $2 Chuck?
No, it's
No, I think that was the first
it's a
episode.
shit ton of tiny she sheds or something. Shit ton of she sheds. That's what it is.
She sheds.
Sheds. That's right.
Oh, there
We
is a
talked
question
about
on here that
she
asks
sheds.
about landlord funds. So we need to do some research on the landlord fund.
I don't know what that means.
We talked a little bit about this last year. Shit ton of she sheds.
Hold on. Landlord fund.
Yeah, so the question on here was, what about the landlord fund? So I do know that there was
it's sort of it's a question that
Yeah.
is, hey, what about us type of thing?
Yes.
Okay, but not that there's actually a fund, because I don't know about a fund for landlords.
I think she's asking the question, is there a fund?
No, and that's what I was just saying. Where's the relief for the landlords,
Yeah.
right? Why don't landlords have some form of relief? Why can't we fill out those applications as landlords for these tenants, right? I mean, God dang it, something.
All right. So I got back to you before the next show. Evictions in Utah climb. Program offers struggling renters $2,000 a month. That's in Salt Lake. So they are having
Same
lots of
issues?
evictions as well. I don't know if same issues. Can't find if
But they were
there's
actually
been
evicting.
a moratorium, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know for sure if they're evicting or not, but
Because I mean, when we went through it in 08, that was those were homeowners that were basically gaming the system, right? Like we'd had them in there for years. I think
Some
It's-
legitimately couldn't pay,
Right.
thanks to the arms, right? But
Yeah.
some who could were just like, meh. I
Yeah.
mean, I knew someone who did it. Can we not do internet searches during our show?
I'm paying attention.
He's trying to get back to us on. I'm going to actually check the. I swear I saw something on the landlord assistance.
Yeah, so
Let's be the first to
listen,
post that.
I will tell you that I am going to be doing a webinar next week for our membership for from the state's level about what now, right? Now that we have this eviction moratorium extended, what does this mean for landlords? What does it mean for property managers? What does it mean for tenants? How, what resolution can we come to? Because it's not fair that landlords are being, now, that landlords aren't getting money. Now, I had a thought in the middle of my thought.
That hurt.
It did. It hurt my throat. Excuse me. So with the CDC order going in place saying that you can't evict people till the end of the year, wouldn't that automatically extend the forbearance for people? I mean, couldn't it? Shouldn't it?
You're talking about the CARES Act part of it, or?
Yeah.
I believe that they did. I think when we were in our last call with
That's a loan question,
Chris.
so that's totally, you should have researched
All right,
that.
hold on. I'll be right back to you.
You're also going to phone a friend?
Yeah.
You could just look it
Hello,
up on the
Google?
internet, right? Just go on the website, Google, and
Might actually be there.
She doesn't have a Google phone anymore. She's lost. She lost her friend.
yeah.
Yes.
So I'd like to know if that actually extends the CDC order actually extends it. A lot of people were pissed off that the CDC even had an opportunity to get involved in our business, but
So you cannot foreclose through the end of December.
okay. So there it is.
So I guess that would be in line with that
2021.
forbearance. The forbearance, you had to have requested the forbearance. And some servicers were doing, like I said, the 6 months or the 12 months or the 3 months or whatever the case was. So I think it was just initiating that forbearance. So that is going to come to an end in September.
But you still could fall behind on your payments. They just can't evict you.
Correct.
Or evict
Yeah.
you,
And
foreclose on you.
You should have probably requested forbearance from March till.
But in reality, it takes some time before you get foreclosed on anyway. So
Yeah.
it's probably still, you
Yeah.
still need to make your payments if you can.
Yes.
Or call one of us.
So I am reading
to
on here
help.
that there is something here in Nevada Housing that it's encouraging the landlords to. This is probably that same statement where they're saying the applications are too high, right? Mm-hmm. For the tenants. So I do not see anything for landlord assistance.
Because it doesn't exist. Wow.
It's called a refinance.
Yeah, but if they're
But
not,
that really won't even.
It won't help.
well, sorry. Did that make a lot of noise? Sorry, Beta.
How about this? Just kidding.
Check one, check.
So could they actually refinance if they're not making any income on, and it's a rental property, they're not making any income on it? Would they be able to?
Yeah.
How?
Because we're not going to check to make
Okay,
sure.
let's talk about that. Your turn.
They're okay. So we're not. We're going to look at their past history of receiving rents. We're not going to look to make sure that we're not going to go verify that the tenant is making that. We're just going to show that they can make it, and that they have, because we've always had a 25% vacancy factor in using rental income, anyways, and that's part of it. Although maybe a little bit longer. So, yes, we can, and in most cases, we use an appraisal that would verify market rents, and we can use that market rent amount as well. Not to say that they're getting it today. So, but they're not. I mean, savings of like $500 isn't still. If you got a $1,100 or $1,500 rent payment, like what's an average rental amount here? $1,500?
Yeah. All right. So
2,000?
let's do the math really quickly. If there was
$1,000.
I'm sorry, I'm still on
Vandana.
this, right?
Oh,
Carry
If
the
you
one.
have $10 million and you divide that by, what did we say the average was? 1,500.
yeah.
Okay, $1,500 a month. You're looking at helping 6,666. That's a lot of sixes. Let's do 1,700. I don't like all the sixes.
Evil.
Why is there so many sixes? Sixes? 6 cents.
Six is.
Okay, hold on. $10 million divided by, let's do 1,750 as the average, right? Because I feel like that could be a thing.
That could be average.
Could it be 1,250? I just
No,
don't want it
it's
to be a bunch of
higher than
sixes.
1250.
Yeah, I
isn't it?
feel
So
like it's
1,750?
Sure.
Oh my God, we didn't do market update today.
I knew there was a
What
reason
the-
I was so awake.
God
I'm usually
dang it.
sleepy by this time.
Oh man, I
We'll get there.
jacked this up.
Finish that though.
Oh, I X'd out. I can only do one thing at a time lately.
Squirrel.
Totally. Squirrel. Okay, $10 million divided by 1,750 gives us 5,714. That's how many people could
How
get
many?
relief. 5,714. I know it sounded like I meant to like finish a sentence, but that was it. It was a
5,000.
dot period.
And
the
how
end.
many people do we have that are potentially not paying their rent?
200,000 plus.
Wow, that's a drop in the bucket.
So, do you want me to do that out? Do you want me to do that math? So 5,714, and how many people aren't paying rent? About 200,000. How do I do this? What's the percentage? Do I divide the 5714?
What are you trying to get, a
$10 million
percentage?
by 17. Let me just use this brand new phone. of mine to
35.
see
No,
if it'll-
that's too much. That's
that number sounds way off, and I can't believe we're
Divide the
not
one
doing this
above the line
live.
by the one
you
below the
take
line.
5714 divided by 200. See, I'm
Hey,
going
do
to
you
tell
have
my
enough
kids
zeros
they
in
need
your
to pay
10 million?
attention in school. 3%. That's going to help 3% of the people that aren't paying rent. God dang.
Nice.
That doesn't even make any
2.8%,
sense. That seems like
3%.
so much money.
So $10 million is not going to, it's going to be a drop in the bucket. If your bucket could hold 100. Because that's really what that
100
means,
drops?
right? Is that what it means? A drop in the bucket? Like, would that bucket
means
mean
it's not-
100? Would
it's-
that be like the
No,
whole?
it means the bucket's big and a drop's not going to fill it.
Yeah.
Got it. So it's a drop in the bucket.
Right?
Yes.
It's an analogy, yeah.
Listen, Beta, you're not allowed to speak. Let me do these.
So there
market
is something on
Just
here
be over
called
there
the
and
CHAP
produce.
funds. Is
Yeah.
that what you're talking about? CHAP funds? Because I just like that name.
like chapstick.
The CARES. Oh, I don't even remember what it stands for now. CHAP. Housing Assistance Program. The CARES Housing Assistance Program.
Who's that for?
CHAP funds for the Clark County, Southern
Who's-
Nevada.
Who's it for?
It is for anybody who has experienced an income reduction, reduced hours, or loss of job, or utility and housing payment difficulties.
Renters or owners, or it doesn't matter?
Tenants. This is saying direct your tenants to this location.
So it's for tenants.
You have done nothing new.
No, is
You've
that the same
added
one?
no value to landlords.
Sorry. Oh, this is for tenants. Yes,
You
I forgot on the
sound-
subject of landlords.
You made it sound like it was this relief. It's
You
not.
just solved
There's
the
no
world's
relief
problems.
For,
Just kidding.
Yes.
ay, ay, ay.
Well, the word
Shelly
chaps is cool.
Panzarella. Oh, by the way, did Rich listen to your show about the concubines? How'd that go?
No, he didn't. He's like, "Where are you going? Are you going to work today?" I'm like, "No, I'm going to go do my podcast." And he's like, "You have a podcast?" I was like, "Yes, I've had 3 episodes." And he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "I'm leaving. Just I'll be back."
Tell him to watch episode 3. 2?
Episode 3. No,
3.
he's now going to. We're going to
Listen,
Netflix and
watch.
chill.
You're gonna Oh my
You
god.
know you can stream this on your TV and chill.
I just heard this. What is it? Netflix and chill. I just
It's
heard
not
about
good.
it.
It's exposed.
not good.
Stop.
Yeah, exposed.
Oh, got it. Okay. So, in the last 7 days, 1,041 homes hit the market. 255 were back on market. Brandon, you stop laughing at me right now.
255.
It's not even fair. And I have to do math for this now. 478 plus 810 is 1,288 under contract properties in the last 7 days. So these are just last 7 days stats, right? And then you've had 1,173 homes that have sold. And of the ones that have sold, what's the highest price? You guys get to guess.
Sold or in
Sold in the last 7 days. What was the last?
4.5 million.
6 million.
5 million.
$1.
530 days.
Who?
530
Where was this
days
one
on
located at?
market.
500 days?
530
30.
days on market. Where was it, you ask? It was Crystal Ridge, Boulderback Drive.
Boulderback. Sounds like a pretty community.
Askaya.
Oh.
Dang.
There you go.
Gina? Oh.
Gina was her name?
No.
Oh.
We just- No.
Right? Gina was her name?
Gina. Oh my
Now it
goodness. We're spiraling. It's the stats time. Come on, we got to keep it alive here, guys. Let's go.
I know, but stats are important.
Yes.
Why are they
I
important? 'Cause if
feel
knew
we
what
should
stats
preface
were,
it
right?
though. Let's do stats and don't make it boring.
Yeah.
All right, so I got this. Do you know what the average price was for homes? 361,000. I didn't wait for you to
That's
answer
up.
that. The median was 309,000.
That's
but
down.
the reason
That's
that
up
is-
or down?
That's
That's down.
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 I'm so glad Brandon's paying attention from last week. Now here's the part that I really want to know. What happened?
She thinks I was cheating. She thinks I had
The
it on
arrows.
her skin. I don't.
You don't. You
I'm
don't.
looking at a blank screen, just
don't.
pretending like I'm busy.
Okay, so let's talk about really quickly. Hold on, I want to see something. I want to see something really quick. Seashells for the seashore.
Sally sold seashells for the
Oh,
seashore.
I can't do them all. I'm trying to figure out. Let's see how many. it only
Anyways,
lets
how
me
about
check.
rotes?
Rotes. Roads
While she figures that
from
out.
last week actually went up on Friday. We taped Thursday. They went up on Friday, Monday, up like 0.25% because the stock market rallied. There was like word about some vaccine or something coming out for this like crazy
Holy shit, you guys.
thing.
I'm sorry.
But they've come back down again. So we're still hovering around the high twos, low threes, 2.75 for
Phenomenal.
crazy, right? I actually, so we were talking, maybe I said this last week, but car loans are more expensive today. Like you cannot.
But you can get a
I
love sack
refinanced
with
and-
zero down
Yeah,
and 0% interest.
48 months.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah. So Ashley said, V, you bought the Tesla of love sectionals.
I thought you bought
so
the
weird 'cause
whole,
it's not a sectional, it's a
the whole building.
sectional. I did.
All
She doesn't
categories.
have
Still me.
flooring anymore. It's just couch.
Oh, but it's so
Nice.
cool. Like you can sleep on that thing. It's massive.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe one day I'll get invited back over there and have a
Nope.
glass of wine and hang out on that love sack.
I've been invited over to put it
Oh,
together.
I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time
I
before
was,
I punch you.
I was invited over to put
Ooh.
it together.
You were invited over for dinner. I never said to come put it together.
No,
I said,
I
hey.
think it said, come over and put this couch together.
No,
And
no.
I'll
don't make
cook
me-
dinner.
No, I said, I'm cooking dinner. Come over. They're
Just-
going to help me with the
Just
love
punch
sack.
me. It'd be less painful.
I still can't figure this out. There's a way. Here's what I'm trying to do. Okay. I am trying to find the leases, the properties that have been leased in the last 30 days and what the average price is. I know it doesn't matter because we're way past that now, but I've started and I can't stop.
Wait, what is the category?
That's too much for me to repeat.
The leases.
The properties that have been leased in the last 30 days.
It's rentals for $400, please.
So that I
don't
can
have that
figure, because
stat.
right now I'm showing leased properties in the last year, 12,000 something, but that's too many. It won't let me do an average like stats from the MLS. And so the only way for me to narrow that down.
We got you. We're following.
You both suck. Sold, leased. No. Continue. You guys
So
continue.
can we talk about the
Don't worry about
contracts
me.
though?
You
Like
guys
recently,
finish
are
the
you guys
show.
seeing that contracts are up this week? Because it's been like legitimately crazy this week with new contracts coming in and agents who are throwing them in with like less than a 30-day close of escrow because they're trying to be competitive with a multiple offer situation. So have you seen week over week that like we're still in a hot buying season now? Isn't that
Hells yeah.
that's different though, right? Normally this time of year, aren't we kind of coasting a little bit? And because we've
No.
gotten through school.
Why
and-
would you coast?
No, I'm just
No,
saying.
the market is really hot.
Different though, right,
Yeah,
than-
we've got lots of closings. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we've had record numbers of closings in the last 2 weeks. Openings, I'm seeing agents with tons of multiple offers. My paper cost is going up from all the printing.
You gotta go electrical.
Well,
Electric.
I know. I'm trying to tell
digital.
them that, but they like to print them off and stack them up on their desk. You know? And
Well, Andrew likes
that-
to do it for his Facebook post because whatever's on Facebook.
I was actually talking about Andrew. No, he just listed one, and it's a fixer-upper in Sun City, and he had a guy that wanted to buy it, and so he put it on the MLS, and by the time he drove down, he had like 10 more offers just from the office down to there. They
That's
were
crazy.
pouring in, and it went significantly above list price.
Wow.
Cash, quick close.
Wow. To fix
So-
it up and flip it basically.
I think so. I was interested because I was looking at it and doing the numbers, and I'm like, there's no way that they should be buying it at that price, put the amount of money they have to put into it, and turn it. You're not going to make any money. And
Yeah.
really, I mean, that's what investment is. You're supposed to make money. And Andrew asked them, and they said, no, they're buying, fixing, and holding.
Do you think that the
makes sense.
eviction
Yeah.
moratorium is going to affect sales continuing to climb up because there's very little inventory? We can't kick people out, which means they're still living there. Less.
Well, is our inventory
kicks
up or
on.
down?
You said it was up. You were paying attention.
No, I was talking about the median and the average sales price. That's all I paid attention
Son of a
to,
biscuit. All right, I'll have to look that up.
right?
I'm still looking for the rented date.
But
Over this.
if it's up, it's not up much, and I think that's what's attributing to the prices staying steady.
Yeah.
You know, lack of inventory, supply and demand.
I give up. I'm done. No
So
more
do we?
stats.
You're thinking the prices are staying steady because I feel like we're like getting $5,000 over list price, and
Well, when I say steady, I mean it's not declining.
declining, yeah.
Right? And yeah, we're getting offers at that, but I still think we're going to have to deal with the appraisal issues.
Yeah.
And once they'll start inching up, right? As you start to get stuff, but the cash buyers are what
help.
really help push
Yeah.
that up because there doesn't need to be an appraisal.
yeah.
Did you see this article from Realtor Magazine? Second home market entering a booming. Like people are actually buying more second homes right now.
Yeah, in the wilderness, aren't they?
Dude, let me just tell you, I have a client in California. Did I already talk about this?
land.
The house that they looked at this weekend, 777 square feet for 1.1 million.
In California?
Where?
Topanga. Tell me that's
Wow.
disgusting.
Isn't there like
Oh,
fire?
it makes my heart hurt. Huh?
There's fires out there, and that's a steal, right, for them? They're
Oh
like,
my
oh my god, it's such a
There's-
great deal.
Yes. It's a 2-bedroom, like 2-bath, has an extension of maybe, what are you doing?
I can see the reflection of my hair, and sorry.
It's too late now. We're almost done,
know.
Shelly. Too late. We need a mirror in here. Beta?
Seriously. Yeah.
Put it on the
so
expense
can we
account.
talk a little bit about that Texas exodus, the California exodus, and how that will affect us? Because
Are they
don't you
leaving?
think people
Are they leaving? They're closing
I
the state
actually
down.
saw on the MLS some agent put that remark of like this fear for a California.
Let me guess who it was.
You win.
Yes.
Don't even say it. You're right.
We're
I'll
not
give you
gonna-
3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count, and you got it.
I just thought that was like insane, right?
It was crazy that they actually put that in the remarks,
like
right?
who's gonna look at that? Or because it goes to Zillow?
everywhere. Yeah, it goes everywhere.
Oh, okay.
So it was interesting. It was creative.
I missed that. I think I'm going to have to.
She texted to us.
You asked
Sorry,
me who
she's-
it was.
she's
and I
a
didn't
green-
get
she's
3
green bubble.
guesses.
She gets mad at me for not
I
responding.
know. She
Oh.
responded, actually.
Oh, no, you emailed it to
Yes.
us. Yes.
Oh,
I saw
then how did I
that.
see it?
I saw that. All right.
Anyway, so the California exodus, is that really like real? And do you think that's going to also, maybe that's also the reason why we were up second homes here in the Valley?
Possibly. Well, that and the
Oh.
fact that you can spend $1.1 million to get a
But-
777 square foot shack in California.
But that
Yeah.
article wasn't just Vegas. That was Realtor.com. That was
all over the country.
all over the
Oh,
country,
okay.
right? So
For
Yeah.
the second homes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, when you're looking at places from, are we talking about California exodus?
Yes,
Or are we talking about
I'm
the
on
second
California.
home? Or are we combining the two and making it one?
all the above.
Okay. So
My script says California exodus.
I didn't get a script.
that would explain a lot. The second home market entering a boom. That's what I'm talking about. So Brandon, you
Oh,
get to
okay.
decipher which one you want to speak about. This is
The
going to
second
be a
home?
fun
show
one.
me
Well,
this
I'm
guy.
looking for a second home, but I'm looking for like something in the wilderness.
But you're not from
like a cabin.
California.
It doesn't say
I got
California,
land. I
does
heard there's
it?
land up at Cold Creek, 10 acres with a
There
nice little
is,
stream
and
going
it's
through
really
it.
cool.
Yeah.
And we went up there and spent a few hours with the owners of that property walking. It was pretty cool.
Are you going to buy a cabin?
I want to buy a cabin, yeah.
Interesting.
I want to buy.
I would like you to buy a cabin.
Yes,
so that I
me
can go.
too. Could you make it? Yeah, could we help you with that?
Since we can't go to Costa
Yeah,
Rica.
you can absolutely help me with it.
Oh no, just the selection part of it, and
Yeah,
we'll help you also. Love
Shelly,
stack
you're
it
going to
up
be
in
working
there.
on the financing.
Surprise!
No, there's a lot of neat places even close to here. I know it seems like all people from Las Vegas end up buying a cabin up at Duck Creek.
Yeah.
Which would make sense for me because it's people from Salt Lake, where I'm from, and here could use it. But I've been looking a lot up at like Mount Charleston and Duck Creek, which
Yeah.
is north of here on 95. And Duck Creek's pretty cool. But
I'd like you to buy a house in
Smart.
Montana too.
Montana.
And Florida. Can you buy a house in Florida?
why would I do that?
Because
Just go stay with Alex.
No, let's try that again. Can you buy a house in Florida?
Just go
What
stay
part
with
of
Alex.
Florida?
I have a second home in
Where
Costa
does
Rica.
Alex
you
live?
can't go there, but he lives in Daytona Beach.
Yeah, I don't like Daytona Beach. I'd like to
I
go.
actually just moved. Where do you like?
Destin.
Oh,
Destin, Florida.
Spencer lives in Destin.
There you
Dustin.
go.
Is it with an
Destin.
E or a U?
Hi. Isn't it T-I-N?
Destin.
Yeah, see? We're all right.
Destin Expo.
We're going there at the end of the month.
To
Yeah.
do what?
Circle of Champions.
That's got nothing
Immersion.
to
3
do with
days.
me.
No.
It's not our fault.
Talk. Listen, you.
Just saying.
Wait, so back to second homes or California exodus. Neither one of those topics were really discussed other than we want to buy a second home.
I want a cabin, and I don't live in California, and I'm not. But I do like California. It's pretty.
That would be his second home. I
there.
felt
I
like
wouldn't
we
live in
touched
California.
it. We did it.
Okay.
But if you really want to do like a full-blown discussion, you'll have to lead it, Shelly.
We'll talk about that next week. I'll get all my research together.
Put that on the list.
Don't
Google.
do that.
That'll
would
be in
just
my script for next
just
week.
ruin our show, all that research.
We're unscripted.
Yeah, unscripted. Yeah, don't do all that research.
So speaking of, are we ending this or are we continuing this?
Continuing,
How much
go.
time do we have?
Like 10 minutes, go.
10 minutes?
We're not live, so you can go as long as you want.
Oh, okay.
Or
But
as
it's
short
going
as
to
you want.
cut me out. So rates, just take a wild guess as to how low rates have dropped since last year.
2.5.
No, I mean like overall, like
How many percentage?
I just said that.
6 points.
2.5.
You think it dropped
2.5 points.
All right, we'll just end the show. This is stupid.
Did I get it?
No,
We didn't get it right?
no, it's lower. But I thought that was pretty cool. I'd like
Well, what was
Lower
it
like
last
1.5 or lower
seven
like
and a
3.5?
half.
It was 7.5. So if we do the math,
Seven
Brandon,
eighths.
it's
No,
been
no,
5.
7 eighths.
Wait, what?
So less than 1 point difference from last year, which is crazy, right? It feels like we were.
Oh, it dropped 7/8%.
Yes.
I thought she said it was 7 and 8.
I
So I said,
thought-
I missed that market.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
no,
Yeah, like
7/8.
what happened? Okay, got it.
So that would be less than 1%, right? 0.875.
yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a year ago, we were probably at 3.875, 4%. Doesn't seem like that though. I feel like we just dropped all of a sudden, but
Well, I think that people are, yeah.
It's a drop in
or
the
the
bucket.
difference in what that did for us as a payment and economy, a little bit helpful for the lower rates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
You want to move on to the next topic?
No, I am
Enamored.
engrossed. Yeah, with this
Mesmerized.
discussion. Like
So-
I'm all in. What else do you have in your notes there?
That's all I got. 35% were first-time home buyers last month.
I love that we tell her to research on day one, and she comes in every time with full-blown
I mean,
research, and
'cause
we don't
you
even
throw
bother with
shit
it.
at me all the time, and I'm like, let me get a number for you. Like, what's the difference between a 15-year mortgage and a 30?
We should always wrap the show with like 2 minutes with Shelly where she just goes through her notes real quick.
That will definitely put everybody to sleep. We're like,
What else
and
you
that
got
could
on
have-
that piece of paper? That little booklet of yours?
Purchases year over year are up 28% according to purchase applications.
Oh.
Sure, that's really what you guys care about. That's all I got. Everything else we talked about, eviction moratorium. Oh, this is actually kind of something that we were talking about is getting ourselves into this industry. Like, how did you get into this industry? And who's going to replace this magnificent trio here? At some point in our lives, we're going to like
Does our
call
legacy
it.
die here?
No,
Is that what
but
you're
you know what I'm saying? Like, we're thinking about Janet. Like, what happens, we got to get more people like
Why
Janet
are you killing
into...
Janet off?
I'm not killing her off.
Why are you a downer?
Oh, my gosh.
And
The
with that,
executioner. No, I get what you're saying. So
Like our succession, how do you get into this industry and
I've
become
duplicated
successful?
myself. He's
Yeah.
already started to sell real estate.
We
My son,
can't have kids.
You have a kid.
Yeah.
She has kids. We're duplicated.
That's
my
it?
kids are not doing real estate
Why?
That's what they say.
because
Because they're smarter than that.
Because you don't like real estate?
no, I love real estate. I love real estate. I feel like this isn't. I don't think that they would enjoy it as much as I do. I think that my kids, like I see my younger one, he's probably going to do something more in the arts, like
save the world,
like a graphic design type of situation. I think he's in the footsteps of my youngest brother, and my older kid. Well, I worry about him once in a while.
V, this is going to be
He is
rebroad-
no, he's probably going to go into like be a businessman or own some gas stations or something.
Entrepreneur.
Like I think he's following in his dad's footsteps.
Yeah.
So
But I think about that.
Also
and
worried
actually,
about that.
I worry about that for us, the industry. I don't think I could train Sydney up to be a mortgage banker,
They change.
nor she'd want it.
No, they change over time. And the thing is, you can't force anyone to do it. And it was funny because I got in real estate a long time ago when Tyson was real little. And I remember asking him, we're driving around, he's like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I'm like, one day you're going to do this. He goes, I'll never do this. And
surprise!
Oh,
next
look
thing
at
you
him
know,
now.
he's like, he's in college and stuff. And he's like, I want to get my real estate license. And so made me proud.
Aww.
You know the thing is though, for the youngsters, like they are killing it because they have not been through like some of the the tortures
down.
of life, maybe.
They still live at home. They don't have the bills.
Right? Someone feeds them all the time. No big deal. I think maybe that's why they tend to be more successful. So the earlier you can get into it, the better. And the thing is like I have an agent on my team who's extremely young, and she's been like, she has a strategy, right? She goes to school, she comes to work, what other industry can you make this type of money at that age?
That's what I'm saying. Like especially with all the unemployment and everything that's happening, and just the thought of what it's done for us in our careers and how our lifestyles and everything. Why people are not gravitating to it as much as.
It's not easy. That's why.
Yeah, but I mean
let's be really. I just became a success.
How old were you when you got in?
We're not going to talk about that.
How
It's not
old were
very
you when
nice.
you
You're
got
not
in?
supposed to ask me my
So
age.
I didn't say how old are you now.
I think
said,
I was 30s, early 30s.
I was like 20s, 23, 24.
I was 24.
Yeah.
And Tyson's 23
Yeah.
when he got in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you guys are more successful than me.
Well,
I've been in it a little bit longer, but I don't know if we're more successful. But I still think about that, the fear of even like our appraisers, they're like a dying breed, right? Because and you ask them, how many people are coming into the market to help our appraisers out? So at some point, there's going to be the VA appraisers who are 100 years old doing our conventional FHA appraisals because nobody's jumping into that.
but I think
Industry.
didn't they make it harder to become an appraiser?
You do have to
Right.
have a 2-year, not real estate license, but college degree. So an AA.
So you have to
and
intern
so-
under someone or something.
So that
Intern,
disqualifies me. But
You
I
didn't
think
finish college?
I didn't even go to college.
What?
He's an entrepreneur.
Actually, I went to college to watch a
Entrepreneur.
football game once.
We just-
You went there to
Really?
I went right out of high school, right to work. Yeah.
Huh.
So it's
That's kind of cool.
kind of cool.
But even
Well, I
with
mean-
us, though, right? Like we didn't. I mean, if I remember coming out of college, it was like, what do I do now? Do I just stay? And I think I was a new accounts rep at CalFed or something like that. And like, what's the next venture for me to be a branch manager? My uncle's like, come on down, learn the mortgage industry.
Yeah, but you cut me off. I was kind of going
Sorry.
somewhere with that.
Oh, go take it.
No, when
she
you,
did.
When
Not
you,
me.
when you make it harder, she was surprised I never went to college. Yeah. When you make
Well,
it
because you're
harder,
so smart.
oh, thank
Definitely
you.
couldn't have gotten these
Bailed
brains
herself
with
right out. But when you make it harder for people to get in your industry, I think you contribute to the ability to do that. So
Yeah.
I know they've had talks about making it tougher for people to own brokerages and get into real estate.
He's
and
not
with
even looking at me.
the college degree, it's because my microphone faces this way. and here's the thing. So if they said you would have to have a 2-year college degree in real estate getting in, I wouldn't even qualify to open a brokerage. Yet
I see what you're saying.
I think we've created a decent brokerage, and we've got
Yeah.
lots of agents, and I think we've impacted people's lives and created a good business. But so when you change that, then that affects your industry. And so I don't know how you get into mortgages. I know it's very easy to get into real estate, and I think we have lots of people coming into real estate. It might have slowed down a little bit through COVID.
He's looking at me.
Are you so excited?
I just think
She's
it's
crying.
incredible. You figured out the whole thing. It's like
Lean my head this
it's like
way
leaning
too.
in for the kiss, right? Do you go this way or do you go this way? It doesn't matter. You can make it happen both ways.
I totally did not get that. Actually,
Netflix and chill.
real estate exposed and
We
chill.
just got the title of our next show.
Sorry, continue.
So, anyways,
He's like, I'm
it's easy to
bashful now.
it's easy to get into real estate now. I think it's not easy necessarily to succeed, but you don't have to go to school to become in the mortgage industry, do you?
You have to get licensing just like you do. So you have to get your 40 hours in, depending on what state, and then some extra for whatever that state is, and then you test. So I agree. Like it made it a little bit harder because when I got in, I just signed up for a license. They had a credit check, and that was pretty much it. And off they sent me to figure out how to do mortgages.
See, we even had to do fingerprints at least.
Oh, I did. I think I did have to do fingerprints.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that.
then that's fine.
Yeah.
So you're not a pedophile.
So there is some schooling, but it's all online to prepare you to
Now.
take the test, right?
Yeah.
So
But then there's like nobody like who do you talk to and then they're like, I want to be a mortgage banker just like you. There's like that's not like out there, right? Like when people say I want to grow up to be a vet, I want to grow up to be a real estate.
So I'm doing
Agent.
these interviews of lots of different. Did I already talk about this? Should I finish my
you
sentence?
should finish
Yeah.
it. No.
So we
Like
I'm doing interviews for an organization called CORE, and they are for high school students who are going to be like they have a 100% graduation rate, and they help high school students get into either the workforce or into college or whatnot. And so I'm doing these interviews of all of these people that I've known for years that I didn't realize, one, how they got into their business or whatnot, just to give these high school students something else to think about that's other than being a doctor or an engineer or, the main ones that you look at. And being in Vegas, a lot of people think the only other option they have is to go into the casinos.
Yeah.
Guess what? They have no jobs.
Yeah.
Surprise. Surprise.
That's not funny.
No, that's not cute. Those are our clients.
Add to
Don't
your
say that.
list, mortgage banker. Start
And
talking to
real
these
estate.
guys. Said nobody.
I mean,
ever.
it's me.
And
I'm
an
interviewing
appraiser.
me for that real estate part, but yeah. I got
Appraiser.
that.
Do you need somebody for the? I might know somebody who could help you with a mortgage banker position.
No, we have some. So yes, sure, Shelly. Would you like to do it?
Like she just told me no. Like live, semi-live.
But anyway, so
So
these
you
are
can
going to
cut out.
start hitting. These interviews are going to start hitting my YouTube channel shortly, as well as the organization. It's a nonprofit called Core, but they have a YouTube channel. They're going to put them on there as well. My background game is on point for
Your
that.
background game.
Virtual background.
Oh my
Through Zoom?
gosh.
Man, yeah.
Hey,
There's
did you
no
change
such
it?
thing. Yeah.
What are you talking
Because
about?
your hands and your things disappear when you move.
It's okay.
It's not. You're like a
I thought
floating
we were
head.
all changing it to be elect Ellie and Brandon. Is that not? I've already changed my Zoom background. Is that not
have
the
you?
case? Yes.
I don't have that background.
It's all over on Agents of Signature, right, Beta?
I haven't been
We
on
have to
the-
get it approved.
I was
Oh,
building a couch
sorry,
yesterday.
Janet.
I haven't had a chance to.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I haven't looked online.
I would appreciate it if you take my Facebook cover photo and change your cover photo to that one. That would be
Got
pretty
it.
cool.
Done.
Okay.
Right now. Doing it.
We get
Yes.
everyone to do that, and then we'll flood Facebook.
But I really like my cover photo.
But you really like me.
Most days. Most
Mine is
days.
saying that it's not.
Oh, I
I have
can't
to
touch
reload
it.
my page. So
Oh,
We should-
I'm sorry.
it's all right. So
But
let's
I'll
wrap
do it
this
at a
up.
later
I
date.
forgot my password.
Gotta
Not
go.
letting me in. All right. So with that, let me pull up the script. Hold, please. Does it really matter?
All you gotta say is goodbye.
No, I don't think that's all we have to say, Brandon.
Follow us.
So thanks so much. Goodbye. Just kidding.
Make sure you like us and subscribe.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right.
thanks
Like
for
us.
listening. Thank you for listening in today, and thanks for listening. That script sucks. Don't forget to like Real Estate Exposed on Facebook by going to facebook.com/Real Estate X. That's it. That's all we got.
You can follow us on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify. We're on iTunes podcast,
yeah.
and we're also on Google Podcast and
Kind of a big deal.
Anchor and everywhere else. So
Nice.
you can't get away from us. We're like crack for your ears.
Somebody
Have
said
a,
that.
have a great week.
Bye for now.
Bye, Felicia.